So Meta's got this new thing called the Andromeda algorithm, and it's basically flipping the whole advertising game on its head. If you're still using the old playbook, well, that might be the very thing that's holding you back. Today, we're going to break down a completely new way to think about testing your ads.
You've heard it 1,000 times, right? Test more, launch more creatives. It's the #1 piece of advice out there. But what if I told you that advice is precisely why your costs are going up and your growth has completely flatlined? I know, it sounds nuts, but just stick with me here.
All right, so let's just tear this whole more is better myth apart. To really get it, we first have to understand what an ad actually is inside Meta's system. And trust me, it's probably not what you think.
I want you to think of every single ad you run, every video, every image as its own little web page. Meta is watching everything. It tracks every click, every comment, every single interaction, and it gives that ad a score based on how people are responding to it.
Now here's the kicker. When you launch a brand new ad, it has no history, no score, zilch. It's starting from zero. So to figure out if it's any good, Meta shows it to the people who are most likely to buy from you, your absolute best, warmest, bottom-of-the-funnel audience. And this is where all the trouble starts.
And that little detail, well, it kicks off this nasty, vicious cycle that shows exactly why that constant testing you've been told to do is actually killing your performance.
Okay, so here's how that downward spiral actually works. You launch a new ad. Meta shows it to your best audience. Then, that new ad steals a click or a sale from one of your proven, reliable ads that was already working. All of a sudden, your best performing ad looks like it has ad fatigue. Its numbers drop, your funnel stops growing, and your costs start creeping up. You're not growing, you're just shuffling sales around. And that's the real cost here, you know? You aren't actually finding new customers. You're just finding new ways to get in front of the people who were probably going to buy from you anyway. You end up spending way more time and money just to basically run in place, making real scalable growth almost impossible.
Okay, so if that's the old, broken way of doing things, what's the fix? Well, it's a completely new philosophy. It's a simpler, way more powerful way to think about your ads that actually works with the algorithm instead of fighting against it.
Now, I can practically hear you yelling at your screen right now. But wait, what about creative diversity? That's the big objection, right? We're always told we need tons of different ads, but that's a huge misunderstanding of what the algorithm actually wants from us.
Look, true creative diversity isn't about spamming the machine with 100 random ideas. That old approach just confuses the algorithm, and with Andromeda, you actually get penalized for it. Real diversity is having a small, strategic team of ads where every single ad has a specific job to do. They all work together, and the system rewards you for it. And the absolute best way to picture this dream team? Simple. Think of the Olympic rings. 5 interconnected rings, all working together as a single, powerful system.
So here's your team. The 3 top rings are for finding new people, your prospecting ads. You need a UGC video because it feels real and personal, a testimonial to build that crucial trust, and a demo to just show people how your thing works. Then, the 2 bottom rings are for retargeting, a simple nudge to remind them, and an ad that tackles their biggest final doubt. That's it. That's your entire team. 5 ads, each with a crystal clear job.
And what's so cool is that when you set things up like this, your ads don't fatigue. They don't burn out. In fact, it's the opposite. The system gets smarter. The more data it gets, the better Meta understands exactly who to show each ad to and when. This is how you create real, long-term stability and profit.
So, if we're not just throwing spaghetti at the wall anymore, what are the new rules of the game? Like, when is the real time to test a new creative?
Okay, this is the million-dollar question, right? If we're not supposed to be testing all the time, when the heck do we do it? Well, the answer, believe it or not, is incredibly simple.
All right, here's part 1 of the big litmus test. If your system is stable and you can crank up your budget without your results falling apart, do not touch a thing. Seriously, you've already solved the single most important problem in advertising. Don't go looking for new ones. But if the answer is no, if you even think about increasing your budget and the whole thing just breaks, that is your signal. That is the only time you need to test. It's the system telling you there's a weak link in the chain that you need to go fix. So when you get that signal, you got to think about testing in a totally new way. It's not some lottery where you're hoping to find a winning ad. No, it's the scientific method. Your 5-ad Olympic ring system is your control group, and you test one variable, one ad at a time, to make the entire system stronger.
Your job isn't to go looking for a new superstar to replace your best player. It's to look at your 5 Olympic rings and figure out, okay, which one of these isn't pulling its weight. Then you focus all of your energy on testing and strengthening that one weak link until the whole system is stable enough to scale again.
In all of this, it brings us to the final, and honestly, the most important goal. We have to completely reframe how we even define what success looks like in advertising.
Look, a single miracle ad just cannot carry the weight of an entire account forever. It might feel amazing for a week, but it's going to collapse. Successful advertising is a team sport, period.
I mean, just look at the difference here. The scaling potential you get from one winning ad is just tiny compared to the long-term sustainable growth you get from a solid 5-ad system. One is a sprint, the other is a marathon that you can just keep on running.
So, at the end of the day, I want you to forget all the other metrics. Forget ROAS, forget CPC, all of it. There is only one question that really, truly matters. Can you spend more money tomorrow? If the answer is yes, you're winning. If it's no, it's not your ads that are broken, it's your system.
And that's really the whole idea in a nutshell. Stop making things so complicated. Stop chasing chaos by launching hundreds of random ads. Instead, build a simple, robust system. Why? Because simple scales, and complex? Well, complex fails.